I just dropped a huge secret update. After leakers said we were getting no more updates this season, the entire competitive loot pool has just changed. They brought back the original Spaz and they even buffed it. We also have the Scar back in the game, the Deadeye Assault Rifle has been vaulted, balloons are back, along with a crazy strat that you 100% need to watch if you want to play better in your tournaments the rest of the season. We also have a whole bunch of reload weapons coming back, and of course, we have another Snakening. Acorn has a new duo yet again. I'll talk about who all the new duos are in NA. Mongrel made his first Eval Finals, and unfortunately, it didn't go too well. I'm going to talk about what that means for Mongrel and his team, and I want to recap the Eval Cup because this was a very exciting tournament. There's a lot to talk about. Let's jump into it. We got a surprise update. Now, we weren't supposed to get any more updates the rest of this season, at least that's what the leakers said, and now we've gotten an update. And while it's not adding a whole bunch of content, we didn't get the crazy new map changes, we did get a whole bunch of loot pool changes, which are really going to shake up, especially in competitive. So, in competitive now, we had a bunch of vault and unvaults. I'll run through all of them in competitive, and I'll talk about what they've actually changed, because some of them have also been buffed and nerfed. So, first up, Unvaulted. These are the new guns that have now been added to the game. We now have a Mythic Enforcer AR that has replaced the Deadeye Mythic Assault Rifle. So instead of Hush dropping a Deadeye Assault Rifle, she now drops the Mythic Enforcer, and it is incredibly strong. We have balloons being unvaulted, which you might not think are too crazy, but I'll talk about a crazy strat with them in a second. We have the suppressed submachine gun coming back, the pump shotgun, the regular pump, the spaz, the combat shotgun, the assault rifle, and we have a few items being vaulted. So the Deadeye assault rifle has been completely vaulted, the tactical assault rifle has been vaulted, and the sovereign shotgun has been vaulted. So honestly, in my opinion, really good changes. We took out the Deadeye assault rifle, which Fortnite's been trying to make worse and worse throughout the season by buffing the other guns. Now they've just straight up removed it. They removed the tactical assault rifle, which honestly, I really liked the TAC AR. I would have actually potentially maybe rather that stayed instead of the regular assault rifle coming back. I like weapons that shoot different ammo types, so you can like switch ammos, especially in duos, and you can conserve ammo. There's a bit more skill in that regard, but they are quite interchangeable in how they work. And the sovereign shotgun was just a pretty terrible shotgun that every time you picked it up, you didn't want to run it anyway. So now you have the chance of finding a better pump shotgun, which is another option. Now, it is worth mentioning though, the pump only comes in purple and gold rarity. You cannot find it in gray, green, or blue. So you're only getting the spaz. Now, probably thinking, why would they add the spaz back when the iron pump is just better in every way? And you would have been right until they buffed the pump shotgun. So the regular pump shotgun now has a max damage increase. Purple went from doing 180 to 195, and gold went from doing 185 to 205. 200 spaz pumps are back. Not only that, they also made it pull out 5% faster, and it does that increased damage. So it got 2 buffs. So honestly, the spaz shotgun is feeling really good right now. And I think the main difference between the Spaz Shotgun and the Iron Pump is actually the pellet spread. It is much easier to hit a 200 pump with the Spaz than the Iron Pump, just with the way the pellets are spread. You probably felt that when you use it. So as far as which ones were the pros using, in the Eval Cup today, it was pretty evenly spread throughout. We did have a lot of pros running the Spaz when they get their hands on it, but it's hard for me to judge because if you get a Spaz, it's purple or gold rarity. So you're probably going to drop like, a gray or a green Iron Pump for a gold Spaz. But are pros going to drop a gold Iron Pump for a gold Spaz? We'll have to wait and see. There wasn't too many opportunities for me to see that today, but I do think pros really like getting their hands on the Spaz and hitting max damage. I personally, with the skill level of where I am, prefer the Spaz, because the Spaz has that tighter bullet spread, it hits higher damage more consistently, and the main thing that makes it weaker than the Iron Pump is the pull-out time. But I don't have Peterbot mechanics. I don't move like clicks. I'm not flying like Aegis, right? I don't need to be able to pull edit and instantly pull out my gun straight away. My brain doesn't even work that fast. I don't even feel the extra pull-out time. So if you feel the extra pull-out time and you feel like your gun's not shooting because you're just too fast, congratulations. That's not me. So I prefer the Spaz. As far as which one the pros are running, it is kind of a 50-50. Now, as far as the assault rifles go, though, there was a lot of pros running the Scar. The Scar also gets some buffs as well. It feels like it has like decreased recoil and decreased bullet spread. The Scar feels like it shoots dead straight. But after you've been using the Morphite assault rifle in reload, you probably feel like the regular Scar shoots a little bit slow. But honestly, I think it's fantastic. I think it's super balanced right now, and I do really like these loophole changes. The combat shotgun did also get buffed as well. The max damage was buffed by 10 to 25 depending on the rarity. Its ADS spread is reduced by 6%, so it has even tighter bullet spread at range, and it also reloads 3.15% faster. Now, it's still kind of ass. Like, that's not good enough to make the combat shotgun good. I'm sorry. If you pick it up off spawn, hopefully it's good enough to do a bit of damage for you. There is no pro or any good player who's choosing to run the combat shotgun in builds over either of the pump shotguns. It's just not going to happen. They did also buff the silent SMG. It fires 2.5% faster, which is a bit of a buff, but again, I didn't really see any pros running the suppressed SMG over the assault rifles because we have so many strong assault rifles. Now, unfortunately, one of the assault rifles that did get heavily nerfed is the MK. Now, I say unfortunately because it's just kind of like a weird change I don't fully understand. Reese Hub made an absolutely fantastic video on Twitter, so I'm going to use his footage. So shout out him. He is obviously the GOAT. He showed off the difference of shooting the gun when it's at 100 meters or more than 100 meters. At 100 meters, the MK and the Deadeye, which is now being vaulted, has bullet travel time after 100 meters. Which means, again, I've talked about this before, hit scan is no matter how far a player is away, is if you shoot, your bullet magically teleports and just hits them there. There's no travel time between the two targets. Now, at over 100 meters, the MK7 and Deadeye has travel time, which makes it exceptionally hard to hit your shots, which was kind of the main point of the MK. The main reason why most pros are running it was to get that Storm Surge, to get that easy first damage, but then it also had the spray potential to spray through walls. It's not the best hip firing, but you had that long range capability. Now that the MK doesn't have the long range strength, you just run the Enforcer, it's pretty much worse at almost every range, because the Scar hits harder, close range, does more structure damage, shreds the build, hits harder, and then you also get first shot accuracy at long range, whereas now the MK, it kind of sucks in the box. It's good at spraying builds, but then only under 100 meters, but then you can't use it for a surge weapon. Like, the pistol, again, just will beat it out in almost every scenario. I just don't think we're going to see pros running the MK really at all, and I don't think you should run it either. I think you should pick one of the other assault rifles, the Enforcer. It's crazy hard. Apparently, it has really good aim assist if you're on controller. The pistol, obviously not as good range damage, but insane in the box. I think the loot pool is very, very balanced right now, but the MK, as it currently is after these nerfs, just probably should get vaulted. There's almost just no reason to run it. I promised it earlier, and I do want to show you the masterclass strategy we got from Muzz and Sphinx in the NA Eval Finals. As you can see here, Muzz and Sphinx are actually using the balloons to gain elevation to then jetpack. But the way they do it is they use the balloons down the bottom, and then Muzz drops the balloons for his jetpack, so it doesn't even cost him an item spot. So all of these pros who are building giant staircases on mountains and using high pads back in Storm, if you've got balloons now, you can just use 3 balloons, hold yourself under a cone or a flat to keep yourself from floating away, pick up the jetpack for the balloons, edit the floor, and then just float into the sky and then hit the craziest jetpack rotate from anywhere on the map. So a pretty cool strategy for an item that I feel like most people don't even really care is in. And this update, while it's not the biggest update as far as crazy changes, it has made the loot pool feel a bit fresh coming into the end of the season, and I like it for competitive. Now, we did also get some huge reload loot pool changes, but there is no more Reload competitive tournaments, at least for a few months, unless they run cash cups in the new season for Reload, which I don't really know if they're going to do that. So again, I'll put up the Asarian list here and you can pause if you want and go through the entire list of all of the guns that have been vaulted and unvaulted. There's like 50 of them. If we did have the Elite Series comp coming up, I would probably break this down in a bit more detail, but seeing as there are no Reload tournaments right now, I don't want to put too much thought and effort into this until we actually have them locked in the loophole. So again, I'll make a video on the Reload meta if we have Reload tournaments in the new season, but right now we have nothing for a few months. It couldn't be a competitive video right now without us talking about new duos yet again. In my last video, we talked about how Acorn and Bolts had officially split up. We weren't really sure who Acorn was going to play with. Rumors were Veno, but obviously Kanata was in the mix as well. And it turns out it is Kanata. We have Acorn and Kanata now duoing together. And honestly, I like this duo a lot. We've seen them play together in the past. I talked in my last video about how last time they split up, though, it was on really bad terms to the point where Kanata stopped talking to Acorn. Like a year. It was one of the biggest feuds in the scene. Like Kanata would just not be in the same room, the same Discord call, or have anything to do with Acorn. So they patched up those vibes. They're really close together again. Acorn is giving Kanata another chance as a teammate, and Kanata is giving Acorn another chance as a friend. He's trusting him again. It does seem like they're going into it with Kanata understanding that there is a good chance it might not work out, but hey, it's better than his options right now because Kanata openly said on stream that all his other options just aren't good enough for him and he's considering quitting. So he's going to take the risk and play with Acorn. They didn't do the craziest today in Eval Cup. I'll talk about that in a little bit, but they still did look solid. This is kind of a rumor, potentially. People are thinking that Veno actually does want to pick up Bolts or maybe even pick up Acorn, but he doesn't want to ruin the vibes with Curve ahead of Div Finals this weekend. Whereas Kanata qualified for finals, but he was playing with Tyler, who Tyler knew Kanata and him were never going to be a duo. So he doesn't have to worry about affecting the vibes. It's kind of weird when we have these tournaments where we have opens for Div Cups and then another tournament between finals. So it makes it really awkward for teams who want to split up. But Veno did say on his stream, the only person he's going to drop Curve for is Peterbot. Unless he gets an option with Peterbot, he is not leaving Curve. He's fully locked in. He sees the value in Curve. So again, we've heard a lot of pros say a lot of things about, I'm not dropping my teammate, I'm never splitting, I'm fully locked in. And then they end up changing. So we'll see. I'll take Veno's word for it. He seems to be playing really well alongside Curve. I've talked about how their coach has them fully locked in right now. So hopefully that is the case for Veno because Curve, I think, has some insane potential. But I still have eyes on what's happening with Bolts. Bolts right now is playing with Rise. Rise did just drop Kingling to play with him. But I don't know if that's a permanent duo or if that was just kind of a for the eval thing. I have to imagine at least Rise thinks it's somewhat permanent. Otherwise, why would he give up his existing duo who he's doing really solid with to play with Bolts if Bolts is just going to drop him after one day? So hopefully for Rise's sake, Bolts stays with him, but I could definitely see Bolts playing with someone else, and I think as long as Bolts is floating around, I don't know if any duo is safe right now. Alright, let's talk about the Eval Cups. Now in EU, we had some very exciting news. Mongrel making his first set lobby finals of the season. He qualified alongside Turtle. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the double qual. Mr. Savage and Velo weren't able to qual through the finals. They started off really strong, started to dip off towards the end of the tournament. They've still got Div Cup finals, but Mongrel in the finals was the big focus. But unfortunately, he didn't have the best off-spawn situation. Mongrel and Turtle decided to contest Shark and Teeny at Wonky Land, who were already being contested by Huddy and Fishy. So 3 teams at Wonky Land, and one of them is arguably the best team in the world right now. And unfortunately, it didn't end too well for Mongrel and Turtle. They ended up going down off-spawn all 4 games. They got a 1 Elam 45th, a 1 Elam 42nd, a 1 Elam 40th, and a 0 Elam 48th. So not the performance I think a lot of the Mongrel fans and Mongrel obviously wanted, but Turtle seems to be really locked in on dropping Wonky Land. Turtle did this in solos against Shark, which caused a bunch of issues. Every time Turtle makes a set lobby, he wants to go Wonky Land. Whether it's because Shark's there, it seems like there's a bit of drama there. You'd think both being Romanian, usually most teams from the same country actually end up being more friendly together. Apparently in the Romanian scene, that is not the case between Turtle and Shark. There seems to be a bit of beef going on there, and Mongrel just seems to be stuck in the middle. I hope if they make another final soon, it doesn't end up happening. I like the optimism from Mongrel and Turtle. You know, if you want to have the best loot, you got to go the best drop and take down the best, but Shark and Teeny are a tough team right now. They're a phenomenal off-spawn team. Despite being triple contested, they made it off-spawn every single game. They managed to get an 11 elim win in game number 3. They went down in 30th another game where they made it off spawn as a solo and it got a bit messy. And then a 14th and a 13th. So even while being contested by 2 separate teams, Sharkantini still made it off spawn every single game. So I just don't think Wonky Land is the drop for Mongol and Turtle. But again, you got to drop somewhere. Every good drop is contested. It's always a tough time. Talking about who did well, Focus and Thomas came out with a 12 elim win in game number 1, and then a 6 elim second in game number 2. Focus had a bit of a brain explosion in a 1v1 push to fight when he had the heal off, lost it, and sadly that lost them the back-to-back wins. We had Moneymaker and Fanayan steal game number 4 with a Mending Machine heal off from Fanayan. It was a great play by him, identifying the Mending Machine was in zone, went back for it, played the heal off, and managed to win it out over Hari and Cammy. And then we had Bimbo and Radeon getting a 7 elim win in game number 2, but also got a 1 elim 6th in the last game, proving that again they can have those good games. It wasn't just a lucky game. We also had Hari and Cammy, who, like I said, came second, but also got a 3 elim 7th as well. Chap and Flixie, I talked about whether that team might split. They've been struggling a bit in Reload and Battle Royale. They said, yo, Aussie, shut up, we got this, and they came out with a 9 elim 4th, 4 elim 3rd, and 11 elim 2nd. So couldn't get the win, but played really, really well. Over on NA, we had an insanely stacked finals, but you might not think it based on the leaderboard. 3 of our 4 wins going to very underrated teams, where some of our Titans, unfortunately, struggling a little bit. We had Age and Rich in this lobby. We had Peterbot and Poyo, who came 50th. They just qualified through to finals. We had Cold and Rapper. We had Clicks and Higgs. We had all of our new duos. We had Kanata and Acorn. But the wins went to some of our other teams. So game 1 came out, and the win actually went to Jamidi and Civ with a 6 elimination win. We also had Electro and Ulk pick up the 5 elim win. Angel and Jagu get the 7 elim win. And then in game number 4, Cold and Rapid came out and did it for the big boys and got a 17 elimination win. So going to game number 4, a lot of people thinking like, yo, what's happening on NA? Like, we have all these huge teams snaking. Everyone wants to see how all these new teams do, and the underdogs are just stealing the show. And we did still get some big performances from our bigger teams. AIDS and Ritual managed to get a 5 elim 7th and a 6 elim 7th and a 4 elim 3rd, so playing very consistent. Peterbot and Poyo, they unfortunately went down a lot in the mid-ish end game. They got 2 14ths, a 9th, and a 13th, so quite often playing super aggressive plays for height and not going their way. Whether they take height, someone else goes up for it, or they try to take it and they lose it. We had Reed and Harvey, though, who played insanely well, getting a 4th, 3rd, and 7th, so not able to get a win, but playing really well. Clicks and Higgs, sadly not able to get an Eval Cup win. I feel like this team was the Eval Cup specialist. Now, the wins have been a little bit rough. They got an 11th and an 8th their last game. They didn't get dropped on by Peterbot. Clicks and Higgs were contested the entire finals. While they were fighting that team off most of the games, in game number 4, the fight dragged off. It was a little bit awkward. It dragged out. Peterbot and Poyo third-partied, and Clicks and Higgs went down. Again, as far as Peterbot, the scale of 1 to 10 goes, this was probably on the lower end of Peterbot being weird towards Clicks. This wasn't one of those situations where Pete just fought Clicks for the sake of it. It was a drawn-out spawn fight where Pete had the chance to take them down pretty easily because the fight went on for so long, got the loot, and then had some insane loot. Didn't go on to win the game, but honestly, this is a play I could have seen Pete making on other teams. This wasn't just a Pete landing on Clicks because it's Clicks to grief him like we've seen over the last few weeks. I'm not going to try and pretend Pete's not doing that, but as far as this one goes, this was one of the more justified fights from Peterbot, I feel like. Booger and Craze, sadly not able to get too many good games on the board, their best game being a 3 elim 17th. Bolts and Rise, that tryout not going too great, their best game being a 14th overall. Acorn and Kanata, they looked okay in opens, they looked solid in opens, but finals, 8th, 19th, 16th, and 8th, good performances, but I would have really liked to see a top 3 or a win to really lock that duo in. Again, they're good friends. I don't think they're going to split up over an Eval Cup. It's not that serious, but Kanata himself said at the start of his stream he was feeling a bit nervous to play with Acorn because he really wanted to impress. He wanted to show out and go big. That's why he didn't stream finals and sadly couldn't pull it together. Curve and Veno, meanwhile, again, Veno trusting Curve, not dropping him for some other players that a lot of people expected him to, and he's reaping the rewards. They didn't get a win, but they got a 12 elim 2nd, a 2 elim 12th, a 3 elim 4th, and a 3 elim 10th. So honestly, 4 good games, all things considered. If you're a Pete and Poyo fan, you're disappointed with how they play in the finals, don't worry, I got you. I just dropped their 36 kill win on my React channel, me reacting to them dropping a world record game, 36 kills on Div 1 plays. Click the video on the screen, you won't regret it.
I love cartoons. I mean, who doesn't? And one of the big reasons why people love cartoons is because sometimes the logic in them can be a little bit questionable. For instance, when a character drops an anvil on another character's head, it should in theory kill them, but instead it flattens them. Or when they run through a wall, they leave their silhouette there, and even something super silly like slipping on a banana peel. And so that of course begged the question, what would happen if you implemented this cartoon logic in real life? Well, today you're about to find out. Perhaps the goofiest cartoon logic trope that happens across basically all cartoons forever is when they drop an anvil on a cartoon character's head and it doesn't kill them. So an anvil, for reference, is right here, and this thing is 55 pounds of pure cast iron steel, and if this thing dropped on somebody's head, I'm pretty sure it'd be GG's. But what I'm going to do is actually test this out in real life by dropping this anvil on 4 different items, including myself at the end, to see if cartoons are accurately depicting the damage that is done by one of these guys. For level 1, we're going to start off with a full-sized watermelon, which is supposed to mimic a human head. We're going to see if this gets crushed, because if this does, then obviously the cartoon's lying. From there, we're going to move on to a full-sized traffic light that I was able to get off of Facebook Marketplace. This thing is so heavy, so I wonder what's going to happen when a 55-pound cast iron collides with this. Level 3 is going to be dropping the anvil on the Labubu character's head. This one's actually canon, because this is effectively a cartoon character, so I want to see what happens when we drop it on him. And then level 4 is ultimately me. If the damage is not too robust, then I'll be dropping it on my head. Let's do this. This thing is so heavy, and I have to bring it up like 2 flights of stairs. It's like a 55-pound just dumbbell of consolidated steel. So I'm gonna get to it. Hopefully I don't miss a lot of these drops, because I probably can't do this more than 3 times. They couldn't put an elevator in this parking garage. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so we're probably about 30 feet up or so. This is about the height that you would typically see an anvil being dropped on a character's head. This is gonna be a 1-for-1 comparison. All right, I'm out of breath, but let's get into it. All right, level 1, here we go in 3, 2, 1. Nobody is surviving that. Oh my gosh, rest in peace to this watermelon. What once was the size of a head got completely splat in half. So I think realistically this is what your brain would look like if it dropped, but let's actually put it onto a Labubu, which is basically a character. But before that, traffic light time. Traffic light is much less delicate than a head, so I don't know if this is gonna break, honestly. It's like a movable object meets an unforceable stop. What is that?
Unstoppable force.
Unstoppable force. So let's do this. 3, 2, 1. That was like a sonic boom. Oh, all right, let me go down and see that. I think we hit center mass and we absolutely destroyed it. So it looks like we hit the most. Level 3, the logic actually is real and it bounces off your head. 3, 2, 1. I can't see the damage. Let me go down. Oh no, look, it tore right through him. The entire mask, and that was not worth it. This was a custom $2,000 Labubu, completely decimated now. So it completely severed his head, but it looks like his body's actually intact, which means I have to drop it one more time to truly test. You hate to see it though. All right, time to finish off this crime scene in 3, 2, 1. took it quite well. I think that was actually the closest to an actual cartoon that we've seen out of everything so far. Let me take a closer look though. Okay, let's have a look here. So face is dead. I don't know where Oh, look at this. So it actually punctured him and went straight through. So if this was a real human, they would be bleeding out right from the stomach right there. So I guess this cartoon logic proves to be an absolute myth. I mean, pretty clearly, if you drop a 60-pound anvil on something that's like animated like a human, an animal, a character, that's the result you're gonna get. Still funny to see the trope, but unfortunately not realistic. And what's crazy is we're just getting started. I have to retire the Labubu, so I'm going to be throwing this Labubu out. If somebody happens to find this Labubu alongside this garbage can, let me know because it's yours for the taking. I'm officially done with this thing. It's broken. I won't tell you exactly where I am, but this is where I am. So if you find it, send me a picture on Instagram, and I'll repost it. It's a good collectible. The next cartoon logic I want to test in real life is what happens when you blow up TNT. So this is a very classic trope, not only in cartoons and TV shows, but also in video games like Minecraft, just blowing up TNT. And unfortunately, I'm unable to blow up TNT because it's an explosive, and thus that's not allowed on YouTube. I did have another idea. What would happen if you blew up an air mattress? I just want to know what happens when you blow something up, and that seems like the furthest thing that I can get away with doing, so let's blow up an air mattress. There's no way it's going to be that loud and crazy. I mean, it's just an air mattress. There's not even that much air inside of it, right? So I just placed the order for an air mattress. It's coming in a few days, and when it comes in, we're going to blow this up. All right, let's skip to the blow up. All right, here we go. All right, this is gonna take a while, so I'm gonna get the automatic pump, get it to a point where it almost pops, and then I'm gonna manually pump the rest. And now the fun begins. This is so scary. All right, we're getting dangerously close. Nothing yet. Go, go. It's getting bigger for sure. Yeah, it's actually getting comically big. So the air mattress blowing up was absolutely crazy. I mean, it actually was kind of crazier than the TNT blowing up in cartoons. So I would say that TNT blowing up is actually not as crazy as blowing up an air mattress. So that cartoon logic does hold up. All right, the next cartoon logic I wanted to test out that I always thought was incredibly goofy was fitting like 15 people in a car. So watch this clip. How is this even possible? And the answer is clearly it's not. But maybe I can get somewhat close. So to make it crazy, I want to find the smallest car I could possibly get my hands on to really see if I could win this challenge here and get like, I don't know, 10 people in a car would be pretty crazy in like a single sedan. All right, so I just received the smart car from the host, and now I have this bad boy for the entire day. So let's see how many people we can fit in this. Just from a quick scan, because I've never been inside of a smart car, you are not getting more than maybe 3 people in this thing. This is one full-size male, then you just have one other in the passenger seat, and then maybe you can get somebody in the trunk. And again, our goal is to be like the cartoon cars, the clown cars, where they get like 10 people in a single sedan. So I'd say if we can get 4 in here, I'd be pretty happy. I just don't think that's possible. Now I have to go ahead and find some volunteers who want to join in on this challenge and hopefully set a world record. Okay, so we have to be strategic about this. So since you're the tallest, you should probably get the passenger seat in the front. Okay. And then, man, I don't know. Who wants the trunk? You want to do trunk? We need double trunk, I think, is smart here.
Yeah, 2 of us.
I can't. Oh, this is tight. All right, you're in there. So that's 4. So technically, if we get Michael in the back, that'll be 5, and that'll tie the record for most people in a... It won't fall instantly, which is also against physics. So here I am with a saw. I have a piece of plywood here. I'm going to stand on top, and I'm going to see at what point I fall through by cutting with this saw. Maybe I won't. Maybe it'll be delayed. If that's the case, then I'm a cartoon character. Usually this is like to escape people, I think. Like somebody's coming, they're like, oh no, like, and I have to trapdoor themselves below. Cartoon myths, you have to be about 70. What? I wasn't even on it. So, contrary to cartoon myths, you have to be about 75 cartoon character would survive a fall with that because there's no chance that you could break. It just happens all of a sudden. Very scary, but hey, now you guys know. I do not recommend doing this. Oh, why did I think that was gonna break? Perhaps some of the most unbelievable cartoon logic out there is when you have something like Popeye when he has his spinach, you become super strong. So any type of power-up, be it like Mario with his star, or like I said, Popeye with spinach. So I actually have Popeye spinach right here. So if any spinach were to power me up, it would be spinach and see pull-ups, and then I'll be doing... Ah, 4 reps, that's like probably 3, 5. Ow! Oh, I'm like getting a stain on the wall above. How many was that? 8? 9? Kind of inaccurate because I did it the wrong way, but let's call it like 9. 4 is to beat here. Okay, let's do it. After that's not this card. Or 9. 1, 2, 7, 6, 8. 1 more. Easy. Who would have thought spinach actually works? Old-fashioned. One of my favorite cartoon tropes is when the character runs through a wall and then it leaves their silhouette. So what I have here is
on handshake.
Hey!
I write news stories, not fairy tales. Especially ones about mythical saviors that no one's ever seen.
Look, I may not have a name or a face to connect them with, but I am telling you, this stealth crime fighter is as real as it gets.
The only stealth crime fighter I know about wears green leather and plays with arrows. And I think he's hung up his bow.
Lois, this guy is light years beyond bows and arrows. Trust me, this is the kind of story that careers are made of.
Well, without a photo, that story is about as relevant as a 5-part expose on the Tooth Fairy.
I bet you Clark won't feel that way after I pitch him the story over dinner tonight.
Oh, Clark is coming to dinner with us?
Yeah, I had a feeling you were too much of a cynic for such an uplifting piece. But hey, yep, CK will be all over this.
I wouldn't be so sure. As shocking as it might seem, Smallville is no hack.
Wait a minute, did I just hear you give Clark Kent a compliment? Give me the push!
You're robbing the wrong chick. Jimmy! Get a picture of his face! I knew I got a good lick in.
Oh my God. It's him.
Hey, Jimmy.
CK, if I've been dying to talk to you.
You said it was urgent. Is everything okay?
Everything is beyond okay, Clark. Once you see this picture that I took last night, your life will never be the same. You might want to sit down.
I think I'll stand. What am I looking at?
It's a person.
What, this blur?
Well, he's just moving so fast that he's out of focus.
Jimmy, it looks like a reflection in the lens to me. Maybe there was a police car driving by with red and blue lights.
Wait, in the middle of a mugging, don't you think that they would have stopped?
Well, it's not a person. They can't move that fast. It's not possible.
A few years ago, I would have agreed with you. But you have to admit, we both have seen our fair share of the bizarre and unexplained.
And what about Lois? She's the one who's supposedly saved. Don't you think it's weird she didn't say anything about it last night?
Not really. I mean, she's a naysayer, a non-believer. I mean, she swears that it's her lightning fast reflexes that came to her rescue.
So you're saying this blur saved Lois from becoming roadkill, and she didn't feel a thing?
See, that's how good he is. I mean, does this have front page written all over it, or what?
Jimmy, there's no way that Tess is going to publish an out-of-focus photograph. I wouldn't even bother showing her.
Too late. Caught her in the elevator, and she seemed mighty interested. She even agreed to let you write the copy.
Jimmy, don't you think you should have asked me if I was interested first?
Clark, I was doing you a favor. And this is a huge story. Look, I've been stuck in Lois's shadow ever since I landed at the planet, and I'm pretty sure the same is true for you. It's time that we made names for ourselves.
Jimmy, I'd rather be stuck in Lois Lane's shadow than be in the spotlight for some make-believe story.
Just think about it, okay? And whatever you do, keep it on the down low. If Lois does get wind of this, she's gonna be all over it like a pit bull on a poodle.
Don't worry. I won't tell a soul.
Thanks.
How does a violent criminal walk free? Yes, I've heard of bail. For jaywalkers or shoplifters, not muggers who almost killed me. I hope you realize that I will personally take this up with the mayor. Hello?
There she is. The legendary Lois Lane.
know you from somewhere, don't I?
I think I'd remember a face like yours.
You knew my name.
Sebastian Kane, the New City Reporter.
Are you a crack detective? How does a violent criminal walk free? Well, if you like covering robbery and homicide, you've come to the right place. The crime rate's so high, there's actually a no vacancy sign in front of county jail.
Really? Metropolis seems like a safe haven compared to some of the places I've covered.
Really? Like where? The gates of hell?
Iraq. Northern Mosul. I was an embedded journalist when the first troops went in.
You must have seen some pretty graphic imagery.
A little more than I bargained for.
I've been pretty much embedded since birth. I'm an army brat. No actual combat. If you'd met my dad, you'd be surprised I made it out alive.
In that case, you know what it feels like to be the new kid. This is my first time in Metropolis. I still haven't quite gotten my bearings.
You know what you need? Lois Lane's Guide to Surviving the Big City. I know all the tips and tricks.
Well, I got an idea. Why don't I take you out for dinner tonight? You can share some of those secrets.
Well, my calendar's pretty chock full, but I may just happen to be free tonight.
Perfect. Why so sad?
Don't ever touch me again. So did Lane steal that crystal?
Takes a little more than a handshake.
Well, then I guess you're gonna have to get a little more intimate.
It's already in the works, but not under your employment. I'm done being your personal peeping Tom.
For a memory thief, your own recall is surprisingly spotty. Do I need to remind you that I'm the one that released you from Black Creek? That without me, you'd still be staring at 4 gray walls, waiting in vain for your freedom.
That favor's been repeated 3 different times. This woman, Lois, she's a good person. I'm not gonna steal her memories.
That's unfortunate. Because I'm one of the few people that know what a sick, voyeuristic predator you really are. About the women that you stalked and killed before you ended up in Black Creek.
Those things I did. That was before I could control my abilities. I want a fresh start.
Get it? You will. When you find me that crystal. Or I'll have to place a call to my friends in law enforcement. Tell them about the trail of bodies in your wake.
So, I'll talk to you next weekend.
I need to talk to you.
About Jimmy's latest and greatest snapshot?
You deleted it, right?
Not yet. I wanted to talk to you first.
But what's there to talk about? I'm not gonna let my picture land on every doorstep in Metropolis.
It's not like anyone's gonna be able to tell it's you, Clark. You're practically just a smudge on the lens.
But it is me. People will know I'm out there.
Why is that such a bad thing? I know that this is gonna sound totally insane, but think about it. We live in dangerous times, and for people to know that there is someone out there, someone dedicated to saving lives, I mean, that could really mean a lot.
That sounds great, Chloe, but it's not that simple. This is my secret we're talking about. If people find out, it's dangerous not only for me, but it's a threat to everyone who knows me.
Well, I wouldn't say anything if I wasn't absolutely sure.
You need to talk to Jimmy, get him off this. You're the only one he's gonna listen to.
Jimmy is giving you a perfect alter ego. It's called an alias, Clark. Writers have been writing under pen names since the invention of the alphabet. Oliver Queen has the green arrow. I think it's time for you to have one of your own.
This isn't a debate, Chloe. We need to protect my identity.
Look, when it comes to your secret, I've never gone against your wishes. And I understand what a huge leap this is for you. But that picture doesn't reveal anything about Clark Kent. It simply gives the world something that they desperately need right now. A hero.
Kent. You know, for a cub reporter, you tend to step into the lion's den quite often. I hope it's urgent.
Look, I'm not sure where Jimmy Olsen got the idea that I want to write his Good Samaritan story, but I'm not interested.
Not interested. In a potential front page story. Makes me wonder what you would be interested in.
Well, it just doesn't feel right to put my name on some manufactured story that's based on an out-of-focus photograph.
From what I remember, the only thing out of focus on that photo was our red and blue white knight.
You can't even tell who it is. You can't even tell what it is.
Exactly. That's what makes it so brilliant. It's mysterious, tantalizing, full of hope and just a hint of danger.
I'm sure it'll sell a lot of newspapers, but to do it by running a tabloid picture, I doubt that's even something Lex Luthor would do.
I'm not going to listen to some lecture on journalistic excellence from a reporter whose biggest byline concerned a kitten adoption fair. Okay, you asked to be taken off the story. I have no problem with that.
It's not a story.
You know what, you're right. It's a tease. But Jimmy Olsen tells me he's up to his elbows in research. With a few more leads, we'll have a face and a name. When that happens, then we'll have the real story.
Smallville? What are you doing here?
Lois, I didn't realize you were here. I was just...
Rifling through Jimmy's things?
No. He left his bag here.
Nothing. But, oh, could you do me a favor? Zip.
Where you going all dressed up?
A little thing pulled a date. I know you're fresh off the farm, but sometimes when a guy likes a girl, he asks her out.
I know what a date is. So who's the unlucky guy?
New reporter started work at the Planet today. Unlike a lot of new hires, he's actually a serious journalist.
You just met him today.
I know. The sparks were flying everywhere. I'm surprised the bullpen didn't burn right now.
Did you always wear so little on a first date?
Got a problem with the way I look?
No. Just looking out for you, that's all.
Huh. Thanks, Clark, but I'm a big girl. I can take care of myself. Oh, sweet. You shouldn't have. Oh, you're probably wondering who the strange man in my apartment is. This is Clark. He's one of the Daily Planet's sharpest errand boys.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Clark.
Clark's actually, on his way out. So don't forget to drop off those papers. I have to pick up my dry cleaning.
CK, be prepared for your career to be launched into the stratosphere. You are definitely going to want the byline after you hear this.
Jimmy, I thought I told you I'm not interested in a byline and some make-believe story.
I think you're going to change your tune once you see my research. I think the Good Samaritan started saving lives right here in Smallville.
Jimmy, that's a pretty random leap.
Not really. Teen mysteriously saved in lake. Girl rescued in robbery. Freak accident saves woman. Now, all those happened right around the time that you and Chloe were in the 9th grade.
What, did Chloe give you all this?
Just because I take pictures for a living doesn't mean I don't know my way around a search engine. Whatever. I think that there's a real possibility that you went to school with this guy.
And what makes you say that?
Well, look at all the people involved who went to Smallville High. Then right around the time that you guys graduated, these mysterious incidents, they started popping up more often in Metropolis.
What's your point?
Yeah, I'm just wondering if anyone at Smallville High stood out. You know, had hero potential.
No, not that I can think of. But even if this guy did exist, don't you think it's his decision to go public?
I don't know. I mean, maybe a little gentle prodding might do him some good.
I mean, it's not really your choice to make. Be careful with that, Jimmy. It's fragile. Since when do you take such an interest in my family's photographs? What is it? Look, Jimmy, I got a lot of work to do. I gotta fix a tractor, so...
It's all so clear. That's what's been going on between you and Chloe. She's known this whole time, and now this picture.
Jimmy, you're not making any sense.
No, it makes perfect sense. It's you, isn't it?
System overload. Fatal error.
Chloe? Jimmy knows my secret.
What?
Between the research and these family photos, he put it together.
Oh my god, what did you do?
I denied it. I didn't know what else to do. I told him I had chores and then I came over here. Chloe, this is not good.
I'm so sorry, Clark. I should have listened to you. I had no idea he could pick you out of a lineup. Not from that blurry mugshot.
The important thing is that we find a way to throw him off the trail for his own good.
You beat me here.
Jimmy.
When I left you, you were doing chores. You blurred over here, didn't you?
Jimmy, that's ridiculous. I used all the shortcuts.
What? What shortcut? I was speeding the whole way. Oh, you know what, Clark? Why don't you show me on a map?
Jimmy. This isn't a witch hunt.
You've known this whole time. That's the big secret that you've been keeping from me. And I get it. I get it. And of course you want to keep it a secret, but you can trust me, CK. I got your back.
And I appreciate that, Jimmy. But this deep, dark secret that you believe in so strongly just doesn't exist. Like, I'm sorry to let you down.
Chloe, you'll tell me the truth, right?
Yeah, I mean, the truth is, as much as I wish that Clark could shatter land speed records, it's just... he's just a regular guy.
You don't trust me, do you?
She's right, Jimmy. There's nothing special about me whatsoever.
And I guess I'll have to prove it.
Jimmy.
man. Listen, if you're looking for a little jaunt to Aruba, you're gonna have to find another plane because this one's packed. It's all full, and we're about ready for takeoff. No way.
When your assistant said you were having your pre-flight drink, she wasn't kidding.
No, she was not.
I hope the pilot's at least sober.
Well, I sure hope the pilot's sober too, Clark. He's got to get us there. You know what it is, though, honestly? You just got to get in the right frame of mind if you're going to fly the friendly skies. Isn't that right, ladies?
Yeah.
Oliver, I need to talk to you.
You know what, Clark? Actually, right now, not the greatest time for me. But I tell you what I can do. I'll drop you a postcard, okay?
It's urgent.
Just give us 1 second. Thank you, please. Look what you did. So, what's the latest crisis in your life, Clark? Or did you just come here to lecture me about drinking and flying?
Jimmy's onto my secret. He's got this picture.
And you're afraid that he's gonna plaster it all over the front page of the Planet, is that it? Yeah. You know what, that might not be such a bad idea. Sure would force you to step up a little bit.
What happened to you? You've all but given up on the Green Arrow. Did you know that Lois was mugged a block away from your apartment? It seems that every time someone sees you, you have a drink in your hand. Maybe I'm not the one who needs to step up.
Whatever, listen, you just need to relax. Okay? Sometimes even superheroes need to take a vacation.
Oliver, I understand that you're still upset with me. I knew that Lionel killed your parents and I didn't tell you. I made a decision. And maybe it was the wrong one, but you're the only one who can help me right now.
I'll tell you what, Clark. I'll call you when I get back.
There's no time, Oliver. People have died because they know my secret. Lives have been turned upside down. I can't mind wipe the people who already know my secret. I can only do my best to protect the people like Jimmy. Don't do it for me. Do it for him. He's an innocent bystander whose life...
Wait a minute. I thought you said your notebook made it all the way to Baghdad and back.
It did. Once the smoke cleared, I walked about 1.5 miles to go find it. You want to hear about the last time I was in a big government facility? I think I was in high school. It's about as close to prison as it gets.
Really?
Have you ever had your palms read?
I don't do too well with fortune tellers. The last one I went to see told me that I was destined to fall for a guy who flies a lot and likes to wear tights. So I'm just waiting for my cross-dressing pilot to make his landing.
Well, I'll only tell you the good stuff then.
Wilson, ability's classified. Homicide. I knew it. You were in Black Creek. So,
Yes, I'll be back in a moment.
And Lois getting to know each other?
I scanned her. She doesn't have your artifact, I know that much.
Anything besides air in that brain of hers?
She's figured out who I am. She has this flash drive from Black Creek.
The one she stole from the library. Oh, the facility's been dismantled. There's nothing on there that could implicate Luther Corp.
It implicates me. She knows the truth about what I can do.
Overzealous newspaper. Move on to our next person of interest. Jimmy Olsen.
Got a tour book in your hand.
Hey, you said you had that extra transit map.
Where to review at dawn.
I need that flash drive.
Someone's gonna save me. That's him now. Chloe, remember, 10 o'clock on the dot. Tell me you're sober.
Well, let me tell you something. I wish I wasn't sober. I could be in a cabana in Aruba right now. Instead, I'm hanging out in the middle of downtown on a rooftop with you guys.
You didn't hear me complain when I had to put on green leather to protect your identity.
Clark, you made out with my girlfriend, man. What'd you have to complain about? Just keep your fingers crossed.
That was be the same else he gave me. He recognized me at the Daily Planet.
And I can just as easily forget.
for 4 years. Many as you don't trust anybody.
Jimmy, let's go get some coffee. Set the record straight once and for all.
Whatever you're comfortable with, man. I'm here for you. I'm sorry, Lois, but I'm never gonna be locked up again.
On the move, Oliver.
Hello?
Clark! Help! Help! Clark!
Listen, I need to make a phone call. Just wait right here. Now? Yeah, I'll be right back.
Wally, I don't want your money.
Jimmy, what happened?
Do you actually expect me to fall for that? I know exactly what happened. You just saved me.
Jimmy, I wish I could take the credit, but it wasn't me. It was him.
No way.
Up there in the sky?
so sorry, CK.
Congratulations, Jimmy.
To think that I just about pulled you out of a closet and you weren't even in, I feel terrible.
I don't feel too bad. Actually, I'm honored you thought I could move with lightning speed.
Well, you might not be superhuman, Clark, but there's a reason that I thought you were the good Samaritan.
Why is that? Because I buy Girl Scout cookies twice a year?
Seriously, CK. You're the kind of guy that people can count on, whether it's your friends or strangers. You're always there for them. That's rare.
What's rare? Pen that works in this place?
I heard about your date last night. Ended with a thud. Sorry I didn't get your phone call till it was all over.
I wasn't on a date, Smallville. I was deep undercover on a dinner with a psychopath.
Sounds like your type. Lois, why didn't you tell me you're working on a story?
If I told you my secret, it would have put you in harm's way. It was for your own safety.
Thanks for looking out for me.
You're welcome.
Hey, Lois. By any chance, did you take a peek at today's front page?
You certainly did, Jimmy Olsen. I have to say that I've underestimated you. As hard as it is to believe, I was saved now twice in 2 days. Without a doubt, I'm officially a true believer in this red and blue super dude.
Jimmy, hey.
Oh, hey, guys.
Good job. Word from above, the mayor's gonna announce the new fire chief at 10 a.m.
My days of covering yawner press conferences are all but over. Because I have a new mission in life.
Didn't realize you had an old one.
I'm gonna use my expert tracking skills and find this camera-shy superhero.
Really? Good luck with that.
Mark my words, Clark Kent. I won't stop until I land the first worldwide exclusive interview. Watch me.
Nice press. I gotta tell you, I never realized how photogenic you were, as long as no one sees your face.
Could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, it could have. I'm surprised you let the thing print, though. I was expecting to hear about some last-minute computer meltdown at the planet.
To be honest, it did cross my mind. But then I got to thinking. Maybe my destiny is more than just secretly saving people. Maybe it was also to give people hope. Someone to believe in.
I knew you'd catch on someday.
Well, I just want to say thank you before you went on vacation.
Vacation's over, Clark. I'm headed to Europe.
On business?
Yeah, kinda. You know my friends? Those who like to dress up and kick ass? We're having a summit.
What happened to the party plane?
Wanna know the truth? I don't know. When I was zipping across the street taking that punk down, I felt like myself again. You know? Because that's who I am. I'm not the party boy who runs off on these lost, rum-soaked weekends, and I'm not the multinational corporate titan. That's not me. Beneath it all, the person I really am is